He has to take responsibility of his own life, confidently managing his shit, whether it's his money, his finances, his business. He has to be able to take care of that in order to take care of you. So in your mindset work, you're imagining a man who is taken care of in his work. You're connecting with a man who is supported in his job, who's doing good in his job, who's thriving in his career. And with manifestation and all of that good stuff, when you're holding the vision of your guy being supported and taken care of in his career, when you're holding the vision of your man being this man who's easily inherently responsible, that supports him too because he shows up responsible. He shows up thriving in his career. So you start holding space for him to be doing well and amazing. And that's just you being an incredibly valuable wife, an incredibly valuable girlfriend, an incredibly valuable soulmate, an incredibly valuable life partner. And it's not just that he's going to be responsible to take care of you, even though that's one of the purposes. It's like, well, how else would you want to see him? Would you want to see him as somebody who, oh, he's really struggling right now. He really needs help with this and this and this. Would you want to see him as somebody who isn't capable of taking care of himself? Because when he's not capable of taking care of himself, then you go into that nurturing energy. You go into that energy of, oh, I'm going to take care of him. And you're emasculating him, which is what we talked about yesterday. So he doesn't need that, and you don't need that. It doesn't serve anyone for you to ever tell the story that men are irresponsible. It doesn't serve anyone for you to ever tell the story that that man is irresponsible. If you're dealing with somebody right now, if you've got somebody on your mind, if you've got somebody who you feel is your person, or even if you don't know them yet, in your mind, in your journaling, in your visualizing, in your meditating, you're seeing him as a responsible man who shows up for himself, who's competent, who's capable, and therefore has the capacity to take responsibility for you. So I remember I saw this video on TikTok probably last year. I haven't been on the app in a really long time. But it was of this girl talking about this guy that she's dating. Long story short, she's telling him, yeah, and I told him he needs to, he needs to get this class and this taken so that he can get his GED and da 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 da. And these are the things that he needs to do. And I don't remember why the video had gone viral. But long story short, you're never doing a man service when you're telling him what he needs to do and blah, 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 blah. And a lot of women think that they're being helpful. You're not even being helpful when you're talking about the things that he's struggling with or dealing with your girlfriends. You're not being helpful when you're perceiving him as somebody who is struggling, period, point blank, because you're a manifester and you're a co-creator, and the greatest thing that you could ever do for a man is perceive him as being successful, period. So not only does it come across as controlling, this woman in the video talking about, I'm telling him he needs to do this and he needs to do this, and I'm sure that she's perceiving herself as somebody who is seeing his blind spots and you can help and support him. And I'm not saying that you don't have a role in your boyfriend's life or your husband's life where you're supporting him in that way with the things that you know, because of course you're a knowledgeable woman who can support people. But a lot of women, I think you see it more in like mothers, they don't foster their kids' self-esteem. They don't foster their kids' self-confidence because they always have to be the one to do something. Or when your kid is trying to learn a new skill, you're saying, well, why don't you do it this way? Well, here, let me show you how to do it, instead of letting them figure shit out on their own. When you're raising a kid and you want to raise a kid who actually has healthy self-esteem, they need to learn to figure shit out on their own. And that means sometimes they're going to fail, and you trust that they're going to be able to handle shit. And if they need you for help, then they'll ask you for help. And then that's when you offer help. And that's when you offer support. And it is incredibly similar, or we would say the same, when you're dealing with men, especially when we're having a conversation about masculine energy. During day 2 of the Drop the Defense event, we went into this a little bit more in depth. You've just heard a snippet from day 3 of the event. But basically, masculine energy, divine masculine energy wants to provide. Divine masculine energy wants to create plans. Divine masculine energy wants to show up. They want to give. So when you're showing up and you're the person creating the plan and bossing a man around, you're undermining his masculine energy. It's kind of like that's his job to be able to do that particular thing. And it's not that you don't have masculine energy in your own life, in your own career. You're the leader of your life. You're probably like me. You're a business owner. You're an entrepreneur. You're a creative. There is ample opportunity for you to be in your own divine masculine energy, creating plans and taking action and creating systems. But in your relationship, if you want to be a woman who is being supported by men, you want to be a woman who feels safe in the presence of men, that means that men are providing containment for you. That means that men are making you feel safe. You cannot have an experience where a man is making you feel safe if that man is emasculated, if that man is not in his masculine energy, taking care of himself in his own life or in his own career. If he's not taking care of himself, he can't take care of you. So if he's not taking care of himself, then he can't make you feel safe and secure. And that's the opposite of what you want and desire. And I thought this snippet was so good because it's like you want a man who's responsible. You want a man who has his shit together. The man who's going to take you out on dates, that's a responsible man. The man who has the capacity to remember your birthday, that's a responsible man. The man who's ready to commit to you in a relationship and marry you and buy you a beautiful big fat diamond ring from Tiffany, that's a man who takes responsibility in his life. That's a man who's living in an aligned masculine energy. If you want to learn more about the 5 or 6 traits of a trustworthy man and how that's going to impact how he shows up, how to, as well as learning how to manifest that man into your life, your soulmate, most specifically, then the Drop the Defense 3-day live training event is absolutely the place that you need to be. I don't have the capacity, meaning the time, to describe to you how amazing this event is. I'm going to have a little snippet after this one. All you need to know is that the free trainings, the opportunity to listen to these trainings for free, expires at 11:59 p.m. Friday night. So if I was you, I would check the link in the description or the show notes to sign up and get access to those trainings. Okay, I love you and goodbye. Inside of the Drop the Defense training event. During this free 3-day workshop series, I'm taking you from feeling afraid of rejection, criticism, and abandonment in love to feeling open-hearted, optimistic, and ready to be provided for by the love of your life. Each day of the series is perfectly themed to support you in softening your heart, building out a supportive belief system that allows your soulmate to manifest into your reality, and developing a greater relationship with men in general so that you can live out the soft life that you deserve. If you're ready to stop being sabotaged by your past, open your heart to true love, and create a life experience where you're surrounded by good-hearted men, then this is the free training for you. Along with each training, you're receiving homework in the form of exercises and journal prompts that powerfully help you become more comfortable being taken care of by good men. You can join us using the link in the description. The last day to sign up and watch the trainings for free is June 7th, 2024. I'll see you inside.